So in today's video, like I told you, we're going to be going over my pedal board. This guy right here. All right, everyone. So here's the pedal board. Everything is sitting on the Rockboard 4.2. This is a fantastic board. It's very sturdy, very durable. I haven't had any issues. I carry it to and from church for practice and worship service. All of that I carry in a flight case that Rockboard also makes, back and forth. And once again, very stable, very durable. I don't deal with very much flex when I'm like pushing on my pedals or whatever the case may be. You know, I don't feel like there's any give or any weak points or where I feel like I'm going to break it. So very good board. Everything you see on this board is powered by the CIOKS DC7 and the DC8 extension. They're located on the bottom, along with my MIDI hub, which the jet pedals traffic control, and the Pinstripes Multibuffer is underneath there as well. So for this board, my signal chain starts here at the Shure GLX D16 wireless guitar system. This thing is fantastic. You can have multiple packs that you can sync up with this, and that way if you have two different guitars with two different outputs and you don't want to have to deal with your gain stages that you already set for one particular guitar, you can actually set a gain stage within this wireless system. It's fantastic. If you hit this button, it also turns it to a tuner. You can also turn it into an always-on tuner. I don't do that because it takes away you being able to see your battery level that's displayed here. So when the tuner does that, this all turns into a strobe tuner. But very good system. I've had zero issues. This also has a button on here, the channel button. It'll allow you to, once you hit it, it'll go through all the different channels to make sure there's not that much the least amount of interference with whatever venue you're at, depending on all the different Wi-Fi signals and whatnot that might be going through. Very good pedal. I love it. I had the Line 6, one of their wireless systems, and it was okay. The battery died on it pretty quick, but this one, it's really, really nice. From here, it goes into the Pinstripes Multibuffer, which is on the bottom side. Great pedal. I didn't know what all the hype was about, but after I got it, I kind of understand it. Basically, it helps boost your guitar signal so you don't lose any of it throughout your signal chain, depending on how much cable you're running between pedals. But it keeps it good, and it just kind of gives you like a mid boost. There's two different settings on there. One's a little bit more on the high end, the other one's more about the mids. And me personally, I don't like super high chimey guitar, so I choose the other option. From the multi-buffer, it goes into my compressor, with the Jackson Audio Bloom. This thing is a compressor. It has EQ. This button here, the bloom button, this is a boost, and you can determine how much boost you want with this knob. You have your compressor switch here. You get your volume. You have your blend and the amount of compression. Then also your EQ, bass, middle, and treble. So you can turn that on and off with that by pushing down both of those buttons here. Don't want to act right today, but that's all right. So going forward, everything leaves my signal leaves the compressor and goes into the Morningstar ML5 loop switcher. This is MIDI controlled. I don't have the big loop switcher. This is my intro into it. I love it. It's great, especially paired with the Morningstar MC6. No complaints whatsoever. But once the signal goes into here, channel A is going to be my pitchfork by Electro Harmonix to detune however I need to, instead of having to detune my entire guitar. This is very nice to have for sometimes when I'm playing as the only guitarist. There might be a part that needs to be detuned because the second guitarist actually plays at a half step down. Kind of common with Bethel music. From there, it goes into channel B. Channel B is actually going to be my Jet Pedals Lamb Overdrive. This is a very clean, very good overdrive pedal. I love it. It's my first overdrive pedal that I've ever had, and I don't plan to ever get rid of it. I also have the Lion. I don't have it on here, but this pedal, you can't beat it. MIDI capable and everything else, and these four knobs, volume, gain, tone, and your mid boost, they're great. You have your bypass switch here. and this is a preset switch. When it's in this mode here with just the bypass on, this is all live. So that any changes you make, that's where you're going to be at. So it has 3 different presets that are pre-built into it. You can have as many as you want. And then it has 3 different clipping diodes. The preset also, if you double tap it, turns into a boost. So very cool. I love this pedal here. Leaving B, I go into C. C is going to be, I go into the brown amplification protein pedal on the green side. This is a heavier, chunkier, more girthier, like overdrive. I love it. It's very, very, very thick. Great sound. I love it. I use it for more of my lead lines. Leaving there, I don't use D, but going into E is the blue side of the protein pedal. And this is your blues breaker type. It's very clean. It's very chimey, bright. It really helps with just getting that first stage. So this is my first stage, and my second stage would be the green side. And then my heavier ones are going to be both of these paired together with the green side running into the blue side. There are times where I will run the Lamb overdrive pedal because it is cleaner. I feel like some of their songs, or some of their not songs, but there's the sounds that are built into it. Very, very good pedal. Like I can't say that enough about Jet pedals. By the way, they have some of the best picks. So when you get a pedal, you get some of their picks, and I love him. So leaving the Morningstar ML5, I go into my volume pedal, my Dunlop Mini X. This is also an expression pedal. I don't have it set up that way, but you can if that's what you like to run it with. But for me, it's just my volume. So straight from there, that is pretty much the end of my mono signal. So then from there, it runs mono into the Strymon Mobius, which is just going to be all my modulation. I don't use it very often, but it's nice to have whenever I need it. Leaving the Mobius, I go stereo out to the Strymon Timeline. You should know about this one if you've been dealing with any type of delay, anything that you've ever played. But the Timeline, it's great. Many, many different types of delays, but the most common that I use are tape and digital. But leaving the Timeline, go stereo out into the Strymon BigSky. Amazing reverb pedal. I mean, everyone in the community knows about Strymon and their products, and you just can't say enough. They speak for themselves. That's why they hold their value, and you just see them time and time again. You know, they have stood the test of time. And then leaving the Strymon BigSky, I go stereo into the Walrus Audio ACS1. This is going to be my amp cab simulator. So on the left side, I'm running the Tone Factor ProSonic, I believe. And on the right side, I'm running the Greenback, their AC30. So very good pedal. It has different presets that you can have. It's got 3 of them. You got red, green, and blue. It has its own boost. I run it with the boost on. I feel like it gives me more headroom when I'm running other effects and other overdrives into it without having to deal with any, clipping or anything like that. So from here, I run stereo out to the bottom of the board where I have the Rockboard MOD-3 V2. I can't say how versatile it is. It's just very, very good. You can run XLR out, you can run 1/4 inch out. If you're wherever you're at, if the church or venue that you're at, they don't run XLR, you can switch it over to 1/4 inch. Awesome piece to go with the Rockboard. It's made by Rockboard, so it goes with all their boards, and it's fantastic. It also is where you plug the power into, so that way it's just a one-stop shop. Just plug everything in, you're good to go. So from there, that's pretty much where I leave. And then for this video, I'll be running from the board straight into my Focusrite, which is going into my DAW, which is going to be Ableton Live. Before I forget, the Morningstar MC6, this is where all the magic happens. I run MIDI on everything. I set this one up to be similar to like a Helix, to where I hit a button and it just turns on several pedals at once. I don't use it as a stomp box. I got spoiled with the Helix, and so I kind of went with that type of mentality going into this. But from my MIDI signal chain, goes from the Morningstar MC6 to the Mobius, then to the Timeline, into the BigSky, then under the board, and to the jet pedal traffic. All right, so for this part of the video, let's go ahead and turn all the pedals off. And that way, you're hearing just the guitar. But just know that I will have to turn on all these here, just so as I turn pedals on, you're hearing what is actually being turned on. So, by the way, jet pedals make some great picks. That's what they look like. Here we go, we get in a frame. Really awesome picks. So we'll start off with the just my amp only. Like I said, I run it with the boost on, as you can see, just to give it a little bit more headroom. But this is what that sounds like using the bridge pickup on my Gretsch Sparkle Jet. So turn on the compressor. This is what it sounds like. So compressor off. Compressor on. So as you can see, it gives me a little bit of a boost to my signal, overall sound, but it also brings in my mids and makes my sound a little bit more full. So we'll turn that back on, and then we'll add the EQ. This is what that sounds like. So for the majority of this playthrough and all testing all the pedals, I'll be playing in the bridge pickup. But for my EQ, I really just dialed in a little bit more mid, turned down the bass a little bit because it can be a little bass heavy on this guitar, and then brought up my mid, or brought up the treble because it was a little bit dull, a little bit lacking. And we know that in contemporary worship music, the high ends, we want those to sparkle and cut through the mix. So that's how I have that dialed in. And for the remainder of this, I will leave that turned on because that's how I play through everything. So from there, let's just go right into the wet effects. So we'll turn on some delay. Just a light delay is what that sounds like. Then we'll turn on some reverb. You can go back to this is what that'll sound like. Add some modulation, so let's throw on a chorus. Why not some trim? So we'll turn off the modulation, as it won't be used very much throughout this video. Going into the drive section here, so I will play some of this with the with the tape and the reverb on. So first stage will be the blue side. That's what that sounds like. Just to give you an idea, I run the ACS1 on edge of breakup. So, picking lightly. It still sounds very clean. Not a lot of drive behind it, no breakup, but just digging in a little bit more with my pick, just. You add this. Then I will run the blue sometimes, and then at other times I'll run my Lamb Overdrive. So this is what that sounds like. Or the green side of the protein. So let's go to a quarter note delay here. And then a little bit more reverb. And see what this sounds like. So that's what that sounds like. A lot of times I'll stack for lead lines like that. I will stack both the green and the blue. This is what that same line sounds like. That pretty much sums up each pedal. The detuning pedal, I mean, if you're not sure, that's what it sounds like, so just clean. Turn it on. Turn the mix up. You can also do dual pitch if you want. This right here is one step up and down. Then if you want to just go one step up. So, cool pedal. So from there, I'll just show you guys how I normally run this pedal on a Sunday or Wednesday or at practice, however. So we'll go back to my diverse setting. This is what I use for most of the songs, unless it's a special song that has certain sounds that I'm trying to achieve and I have to build in the Mobius and like a reverse delay or anything like that. So we'll turn the pedals back on. That way the loop switcher will work the way it's supposed to work by turning on each individual channel. So clean tone, be on the neck pickup here, just some clean ambient stuff. So after that, we're running through the drive. So first stage, that sounds like. Everybody's familiar with that riff. Going to a third stage. Sorry, this is my second stage, really, of Overdrive. And what I love about this board is that I can turn on boost with this if I need just a little bit more without getting to my really heavy lead lines, or lead tone, I should say. That's awesome. Then also I have the versatility of using the LAM when I'm running it to run its own boost. So it's very versatile. I love the way this board's set up. So anyhow, this is what that sounds like. And that same riff with both the green and the blue on will sound like this. Then we'll go into the ambient sound. So I label it ambient, but it really swells, or you can pick through. But this is what that sounds like. Hey guys, one thing I forgot to mention during the video is that if you are liking the video and you like this type of content, please like and subscribe. Also, If you're interested in seeing any of the pedals and more of an in-depth review, please leave a comment. Let me know which one you would like to do a review on. I look forward to making this type of content for you guys. So once again, I appreciate your time, and thanks for watching DC Guitar.